Good morning, team. I thought I would make a quick video for the end of the week with a few announcements since we'll be unable to meet for our meeting on the 19th. So let me get started with a few things I wanted to talk with you about, and feel free to email me after or even give me a call on my cell, which I think you all have, but I'll go ahead and tell you that it's 570-236-5583. All right, so Jamie, Courtney, and Deb and I met on Monday to talk about communicating to our partners, and there, as always, levels of partners, administrators, instructors, and then the student communication as well. And we mostly talked about communicating to the administrators and the instructors. Um, Coming off of Andy's town hall from yesterday, it made me realize that we will be waiting a little bit longer to communicate for a couple of reasons. One, as Andy mentioned, students won't receive communications from the college until next week, and I'm anticipating that that won't happen until mid to late next week. And I know that yesterday was the deadline for department chairs to communicate how courses will be taught based on discipline decisions. And so because we're waiting for the way CTE will look on campus so that we have a way to talk to our partners about CTE courses, we're waiting on that information as well. What we do know right now is that we will communicate a standard message to administrators and instructors about a minimum threshold that the real-time remote courses will have. And we're using real-time remote because they're campus managed, meaning they still belong to the campus tuition rate and managed by those of us on campus and not the online department. And the way that it will work is that the recommendation is that a third of the course participate in a third of the hours of each week, I should say, of the course should participate in real-time remote or synchronous method, some kind of lecture or engaging activity for the students. And the maximum for that each week is 50% of the weekly course time. And then the remaining would be the anytime remote, which would be asynchronous inside D2L or inside Schoology. I believe that we will continue to allow, especially the the district paid instructors to use learning management system they're more familiar with than D2L. Even if they've been through the online instructor certification program, they're probably still more comfortable with their district learning management system. And maybe we can talk more about that at our next meeting, which will be on the 26th. So that's all I have about the communication plans, except to say that I'm working on a matrix to, we're going to have an external version of the matrix where we communicate with the instructors about how lecture classes will be taught, which is that minimum threshold for real-time remote information I just talked with you about. And then we're still waiting to see what the CTE courses, especially the ASE and the welding classes, and I'm thinking of a couple of others, maybe like the is it the EMS 115, the ones that have the machining classes that will be new for this year, the way that those will be handled on campus. We will ask our partners to allow us to teach them in the same way that they're being taught on campus is my thought about how that will work. Excuse me. A few other items here. So remember, our team meetings should have been this Friday on the 19th, but because the college will be recognizing and celebrating Juneteenth, we will meet now on the 26th, and then you'll see this morning, I'm sure, that I sent a meeting invitation for the rest of the academic year. Excuse me. And I just wanted to say a few things about the meetings that I will start using the old S Drive, the BCC, the Front Range College Now BCC team folder that's out on SharePoint to post the agenda with the agenda items. And then Jamie and Courtney, if you know there are topics, situations with high school partners that you need to bring up that I haven't added to the agenda, I would like for you to add those so that we have a report from you on what's happening in your work as well. Excuse me, I have a little tickle in my throat. And then finally, I wanted to say something about Juneteenth to encourage you to reflect and learn something tomorrow. And sorry, I forgot a quotation mark there at the end. I found an article on Inside Higher Ed um, written by a social work professor talking about her experience as an academic and reflecting on what's happening in the world. And I thought that might be a good place to start. Let me go ahead and just show it to you real quick because I have it open on my browser. Um, Henrika McCoy, The Life of a Black Academic Tired and Terrorized. And I've skimmed through some of it. I'm going to read it more closely tomorrow. Um, but this is just a recommended article. And of course, you can pursue anything else that you would like to reflect and learn about Black American history and what's happening in the world right now. I encourage you to do that. All right. Thank you, team. If you have any questions, as I said, email or call me today. And I hope you have a nice longer weekend. And I hope you get to do a lot of really important reflecting tomorrow. Thanks.